Hello and welcome to Courageous Doctors, the new show for you and your doctor. On this show, we'll be looking at Obamacare updates, other healthcare updates, and healthcare and safety tips. Now let's begin. From the Star Ledger, we see that 25,000 people are still having trouble signing up for Medicaid in New Jersey, and 7,000 still have not received their ID cards. However, Commissioner Velez assures us that they may still see their doctors. New York Times reports that the ACA, the Accountable Care Act, is offering fewer doctors and fewer hospitals. Insurance companies say this saves them money. Kaiser Health News cites a study from Georgetown University on Arizona children now paying more for fewer benefits on the exchange than they had on CHIP, the Children's Health Insurance Program. CHIP is set to expire October 2015 unless extended by Congress. Bloomberg News shows that the United Health Group, Aetna, and Humana will make their costs available to consumers on the Internet. In the Star Ledger, it reports that New Jersey residents are purchasing the most expensive plans on the exchanges. Here we see that if you pay $987 a month, the deductible goes down to $3,912 for the year. Other states are buying cheaper plans with deductibles as much as $10,000. Kaiser Health says that their silver and bronze plans force consumers to pay more for their drugs, which is hard for people with chronic disease. In the Star Ledger, it says that Medicaid is struggling to pay for a new hepatitis C drug, which costs $1,000 per day. Already, Colorado and Pennsylvania are now limiting who receives this drug. Associated Press reports that the HHS, Health and Human Service, is allowing insurers to limit reimbursement on procedures so that consumers might have to pay the difference. In the Congressional Quarterly, CMS, the Center for Medicaid and Medicare, is to test launch SHOP, the small business exchanges in 5 states. The SHOP exchange is scheduled to go live in November of this year. Star Ledger shows that New Jersey hospitals rank 7th now among the nation as the safest in a national survey done by the Leapfrog Group, a healthcare consumer education organization. Now let's move on to other healthcare updates. The World Health Organization is not yet ready to declare an international emergency on MERS, M-E-R-S, the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome. So far, transmission is limited to close contacts in hospitals. 2 cases have made it to the United States from Indiana and Florida, and both these travelers came from Saudi Arabia. And now a 3rd case is reported in Illinois from a businessman who met with the Indiana patient before he was hospitalized. 157 people have died in Saudi Arabia from this disease. The disease kills 1/3 of its victims. There is no vaccine, and there is no treatment. Travelers from Arabia who are hospitalized with pneumonia should be tested for MERS. Symptoms may not show for 14 days. The New Jersey Department of Health says that we are still seeing a moderate amount of flu. A smallpox-like illness infecting 2 citizens of the former Soviet state of Georgia was recognized. Only the United States and Russia still stockpile smallpox. In the Star Ledger, the World Health Organization declared an international state of emergency on the spread of polio across 10 countries, mainly Pakistan, Syria, and Cameroon. Travelers out of those countries must show proof of vaccinations. The Center for Disease Control is watching 5 parasitic diseases that is said to affect millions of Americans who may not even know they're sick. Chagas disease, cysticercosis, toxicara, toxoplasmosis, and trichomoniasis. These can lead to seizures, blindness, heart failure, and death. In the Star Ledger, it's reported that the CDC is now tracking measles across 13 states. The CDC is also watching other countries such as the Philippines, which has an outbreak of 20,000 cases and 69 deaths. Measles kills 1 to 2 out of every 1,000 cases. So far, California and New York have been hit the hardest. In the NBC News, JAMA, the Journal for American Medical Association, reports a study about the adult pertussis vaccine. If given to pregnant women, it protects both the pregnant woman and her baby. New York Times reports a study from the journal on Nature that scientists have now created the first microscopic organism out of synthetic DNA. Now let's move on to healthcare safety tips. Mutter racers have caught dysentery from swallowing infected water on a cattle ranch in the cattle ranch course, and this was back in 2012. The Wall Street Journal reports on the antihistamine cetirizine that was made in India. Those batches have been recalled. The CDC talks about exposure to pool chemicals being responsible for 5,000 emergency room visits in 2012. This is either by directly handling the chemicals or by diving into the water right after the chemicals were added. In the San Francisco Chronicle, there are reports on chemical exposure from flame retardants in preschool furniture and napping gear. Time reports on the long-term effects on the brain from work exposure to fumes from solvents such as paint, glue, degreasers, and adhesives. And finally, out of the Boston Globe, the American Academy of Pediatrics has released guidelines on preventing the knee injury, ACL, anterior cruciate ligament tear, which is more common in women. Emphasis for coaches is on plyometrics, strengthening exercises, repetitive jumping, stretching, and balancing training. And this brings us to the end of our news show. I thank you for watching. We look forward to hearing your comments, and we will see you again next month.
Hi everybody, how are you? I'm Bob Gonzo of The Bob Gonzo Show. And I'm here to introduce The Bob Gonzo Show to you. Watch The Bob Gonzo Show on ComedyMondays.com and iTunes. Once again, ComedyMondays.com and iTunes. Watch it live or you can watch it on the archives, which means you can watch it forever. Bob Gonzo is the greatest show on the internet right now. It's the funniest, it's the sweetest, it's endearing. We have stand-up comics, we have bands, we have actors, we have people in the fashion industry. We have everything you need. So once again, the Bob Gonzo Show, the greatest show in the world. And if you watch it, you will become a better and happier and sweeter person. You. Watch the Bob Gonzo Show, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's the Mark Dacey Show, filled with gifts, fun, and surprises, and $20,000 in cash for every viewer. Well, maybe not. But we do talk about stuff and things that you might want to think about after, before, and during the show. It's engaging, at least. So come by, won't you? We're here at Facebook, on iTunes. We broadcast from VK Media right here on the East Coast, and we're part of broadbandboxoffice.com. Check us out, come by, like us, do what you can, spend some time, take some time off, sit down, have a viewing. It's happening, it's now, it's controversial, or maybe not. But we could use a couple of more viewers, maybe starting with you. Won't you?
Hi, I'm Randy Lupo, host of The Randy Lupo Show on Broadband Box Office. Wait, is that a tongue twister or an alliteration? Come meet my favorite people, comedians, actors, writers, spiritual people, and everyone in between. I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Hi, my name is Tom Ragu of the Tom Ragu Sit Down Comedy Show. You can listen to us at the Broadband Box Office, and for more information, please visit www.tomragu.com/podcast.